I'd like to honor Refugee Day survivors because being a refugee is not easy in an inhumane world of failed people primates, the Homo communia, the ones that are accelerating their path to the Third World War and to the Anthropocene, the death of life on this planet at levels that I tell you is inhumane because it's not caused by an asteroid or a volcano or a shift in life, because there's been shifts in life on our planet that led to us being here, such as bacteria that released oxygen and that changed the composition of the atmosphere, for example. We can change the composition of the atmosphere, but in anti-life ways. So we're devolving life on this planet as we're killing, not like those bacteria from billions of years ago on Earth that actually killed off what was the dominant, let's say, other bacteria, but that led to bigger, more complex life forms, the ones that it turns out my species can kill the concept of life and evolution more efficiently. So again, I think if you had a concept of a god and a devil, I think all your religions, if you use the right definitions of devil, you'd see that they point to your species being one. So the way I identify with refugees is that when I traveled, if I found the right fit, I would have definitely asked for asylum after, having a good fit, let's say, in a community that I was appreciated as the elusive Homo sapien with what I had to offer. Here I'm told, we're not going to fund anything for you because your resume shows you should be able to find work, although you've been documenting for years online and you provided evidence we're not allowing you to work. Oh, and have you thought of starting a driving school here? We can always need. Did you do the market research, Mrs. Work BC? Because I don't think there is a need. And if there would, because let's say the other driving schools are not as good as me, I'd still get 3-4 students a week maybe. Yeah. And again, you'd be wanting me to devolve myself, and I explained that. I explained that I went from these different levels when it comes to driving or commercial driving or professional driver up to learn, driver psychologist, and I'm not going to devolve myself and get into debt to fill the needs of a couple of students who don't want to go with another driving school. Now, if that's the best you have to offer, Work BC, yeah. I've been traveling all through BC for the last few years, and I arrive in communities as a refugee within my own country of birth and origin and citizenship and passport. And this foreigner guy, this guy is not from around here. Where is he from? Why, he's French. Why does his English sound better than ours? And then they think I'm bringing trouble, and this is communities that are extremely full of issues, like Prince Rupert. Like I can't, I'm still getting brown water come out. Finally have hot water again, and but the water doesn't come down the tub right now, so I have to use the plunger. It didn't work, so we're not very evolved, right? We don't care about each other. And we're devolving, and we were Canada, an underdeveloped country, because you have to assess these things for the concept of happiness, human rights, self-empowerment, identity, having a right to your own identity and not being domesticated or indoctrinated like, they try to do for me at Work BC because it's easier for them. They already have a job. They have to make their life easier. It's so hard to have a job that they can't deviate from the norm for me to have a job. That's not the way it works. So I understand what it feels like to be a refugee in your own country or in another country, except not being acknowledged as that. And even those that are acknowledged, they're incredibly poorly treated. And, there's no exceptions to how inhumane. There are no politicians of the world, and I watch a lot of international news right now that exists that speaks as if they are an Homo sapien. And I'll define that by the definitions in their behaviors of sentience and sapience. None.